Ricky, I guess there's no other way to put it, but this was an ugly loss today.
I mean, we did some great things in the second half. We got more points, about 8 points more than them in the second half, which really, you know, the first half, they kind of dominated and got 24 points. And anytime you let a great team like this jump out and get ahead of you, it's kind of rough to come back. So, you know, we hung in there and played well at the second half, but the first half, we let them get away.
You're not surprised. You play with these guys. You know how hard it is against Steve Young and Jerry Rice, but they really did take it to the Saints early on in this game.
Well, I mean, early in the game, when Jerry and Steve hooked up, a couple of times they did, it set the tone for the game. And if you don't, you keep them from getting off their quick, fast start like they did, we had a chance. But once you let them get out there and get the rolling and making the crowd get into the game, make it rough on you.
Eric Allen said this team probably played a little too much zone, and they were able to take advantage of it today.
Well, man, I can't say, you know, what they played or anything, but I know that we didn't press Jerry enough. I mean, he got off the line pretty good, and he had a chance to have some success. So in the future, we know that, you know, if you're going to stop 49, you got to hold Jerry at the line a little more and be a little more physical on him because he sets the tone of the game.
And you got to contain Steve Young. When he gets out, he can really be a guy.
Well, I mean, he can run. Everybody know that. You got to spy somebody on him, and, you know, something's going to come up short. So anything come up short, as long as you hold Jerry and Steve, let them beat you with the other people. And, I mean, that's basically it.
I guess, too, when you get down, it's hard to get that ball moving once you get down 24-0.
Well, I mean, they got the #1 defense in football. A lot of people fail to realize that the last 2 years they've been #1 defense in football. So, I mean, they don't have a defense that you can mess around with. They got a great defense. And they replaced 2 or 3 guys, you know, and they still brought some good pass rushers in and some more good players in. So the defense still ranked real high. So all to beat them guys, you got to make sure that, you know, you get some turnovers and stuff on your defense, because they're going to get turnovers on their defense. I think they got like 2 or 3 turnovers a day, and I mean, anytime you get 2 or 3 turnovers, they're going to help out a lot.
Were you surprised, as badly as they played in the preseason, how well they were able to come out and play today?
Well, that don't count to them. I mean, that don't mean anything. It's the big boys playing now. I mean, that preseason stuff, everybody record came in today 0-0, and the big boys show you that preseason don't mean nothing. And they came out today and got 24 points real quick to show us that, hey, you know, we come to play the ball game.
15 games left to go. What does this team need to do to rebound? And they need to probably do it pretty quickly.
Well, you know, Carolina got a good team, too. I mean, they got a lot of veterans over there, and they're building a hell of a program. So we got our work cut out for this week, too, going to Carolina. Because, I mean, for them to come up and beat Atlanta 29-6 like they did, I mean, that shows you right there that their quarterback, first couple of picks last year, and he coming on. And, I mean, he getting smarter. I mean, right now, they got some good receivers that came along. They got a great defense. Now they had Green with it, Kevin Green with it, with Sam Mills and Breck Mikes and Leighton and all those guys. Right. So right now, I mean, we're looking at a dogfight next week. I mean, you know, these first 2 games was the toughest 2 games on the schedule.
Good deal. Thanks, Ricky.
All right.
Good deal. As Ricky Jackson said, it is going to be a dogfight next week. It was a rough fight today, and the Saints are going to need to pick it up, no doubt.
Well, Ricky talked about the big dogs. The Saints really need to get up with those big dogs, because the 49ers came out, they know when it counted, and they won the ball game. Jim, we'll see what happens next week. Coming up next, we'll hear from the man himself, Jim Mora. We'll go one-on-one with him when we return from a cold, windy parking lot at 3Com Park in San Francisco. We'll be right back.
Welcome back live to 3Com Park here in San Francisco and All Saints. I'm Jim Gallagher. With me, of course, Lionel Bienvenu. And Lionel, Jim Mora could not like what he had to see today. The numbers, final score 27-11, the numbers were just ugly today.
They didn't play well, Jim. That was the bad part. They were beaten by a better team, and Mora was upset after the game, but he wasn't ready to throw in the towel yet. It's a long season, he said. Afterwards, I talked with him one-on-one in the locker room.
Well, when you look at the halftime score, 24-0, I guess the question is, what didn't go wrong in the first half?
Well, a lot of things went wrong, and, you know, combination of us bringing it upon ourselves and then the 49ers doing a good job. In between the two, we just got behind a tremendous 8-ball there, 24-0. But I really felt like our guys came back the second half and competed hard. They competed the first half, too. It wasn't a question of that, but they came back the second half and played much better, especially on defense. The defensive difference between the first half and the second half was like night and day, and there's no question that our football team is more like the second half team, especially I know defensively than we were the first half. But you know, give credit to the 49ers for doing a good job, and we had some problems that first half. That we had some bad penalties, we had horrible field position, and a lot of that was caused by our own problems, some by them. And we just had a tough time getting going, but I thought we played much better the second half.
Yeah, you talk about coming back in the second half, getting back in the ball game. But in the first half, was it a matter with the Saints not ready to play? Were the Saints ready to come and play this game today?
Oh yeah, we had prepared very, very well. We had prepared very well. Mentally, we were prepared. Emotionally, we were prepared. We played hard the whole game. We just had some bad things that happened in the first half, and like I said earlier, some of it was caused by good play by the Niners, and some of it was caused by some bad things that we did, some errors that we made. But our guys were really ready to play this game. They were emotionally ready, mentally ready, ready to go.
When you talk about the defensive effort in the second half, you say that that's the Saints team you think you're going to see next week. Is that what you tell the players after a loss like this? That, hey, let's, you know, put it behind us, see what we did wrong, go on and come back against Carolina strong like you did in the second half?
Well, you know, what's over is over, and you can't. You learn from the good things and the bad things that happen, and we got through this without any serious injuries. I think Michael Haynes got a little back problem, but nothing serious, I don't think. You know, I expect this team to continue to get better as the season goes on. We need to make some real progress this week. There's no question about it. Carolina had a big win today over Atlanta, and they'll be a very difficult opponent for us next Sunday. But this team will bounce back, and I know they'll make a good account of themselves next week.
Jim, do you think you wanted to run the ball? I know that before this game. Talk about the running game, and also Jim Everett looked a little bit off today as well. You had some drop passes in the passing game.
When you get behind 24-0, it's a little bit more difficult to run the ball than when you are even. But the 49ers are one of the better defensive teams in football, and I knew it wouldn't be an easy chore for us to move the ball against them today, either running or passing. I knew we'd have to have everything go well for us, so we'd have to have good field position. We couldn't turn the ball over, those kind of things. And it was a struggle all day. But this team will bounce back, and we'll see what happens next week.
Jim, thank you very much.
Yes, we will, Jim. One thing is kind of deceiving. Jim Moore and all the players talked about it. They said, hey, we came back and played much better in the second half. We kind of won the second half over the 49ers. That's a positive. That was a Saints team. But the 49ers were up 24-0, so they're not going to play the same kind of game. They're not going to attack like it was 0-0, so it's kind of deceiving. They might have played better the second half, but the 49ers, if they would have tried, could have made it 48-0.
Right. It is absolutely crucial for the Saints next week to come out and play better, especially quarterback Jim Everett. He struggled today. Now, no doubt he had a lot of drops. He had some guys the receivers have to catch the ball, but he struggled today. The running game has to pick it up. Defensively, I think they're going to be all right. Steve Young and Jerry Rice present a pretty formidable competition, but they've got to improve, no doubt about it.
Good thing is there's no Steve Young next week.
Yeah, that's right. You got the Carolina Panthers. Joe, that wraps it up here from live at 3Com Park. We're going to throw it back to you for more of All Saints, and of course, Ricky Jackson and myself will all be back with you next week in the studio. But that wraps it up live from 3Com Park here in San Francisco.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Great job out there in San Francisco. Y'all have a safe trip back. We'll see you tomorrow. Now, our San Francisco crew is done for tonight, but we've got more ahead. Coming up, we'll tour the rest of the West, so don't go away. All Saints will be back after this. Welcome back to All Saints. Just two other games involving NFC West teams today. The Rams hosting the Bengals, and the Falcons visited the Carolina Panthers, who christened Ericsson Stadium. We'll start with Carolina in this week's look at the rest of the West. Dom Capers and the Panthers have cashed in with another free agent acquisition from the Saints, namely Wesley Walls. From Sports Illustrated's Pro Football Preview, Tim Biakabatuga notwithstanding, the biggest boon to the Panther offense is the addition of former Saints tight end Wesley Walls. With New Orleans last year, Walls grabbed 57 passes for 694 yards and 4 TDs. And Walls was at it again today. Kerry Collins fakes the handoff and finds a wide open Walls for the touchdown. The Panthers really had their way with a Falcon defense that was supposed to be much improved. The Atlanta Journal and Constitution heralded a much younger Falcon defense. To anyone who has observed the progress of this defense over the past 6 weeks in Sewanee, the Falcons' training camp site, this much is evident. The Falcons are younger, quicker, and sounder than at any time during the June Jones tenure. But the Falcons' young D could not stop Kerry Collins when it counted today. Last year's 29th ranked passer threw for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Carolina's defense harassed Jeff George for 7 sacks as the Panthers win easily 29-6. The Rams are looking for steady play from ex-Saint QB Steve Walsh. SI says Walsh's best attribute may be what he isn't, namely the type of quarterback who makes foolish mistakes. In 1,191 career passing attempts, Walsh has thrown just 39 interceptions. But today against the Bengals, Ashley Ambrose victimizes Walsh for an INT that led to the Bengals' first touchdown. But Walsh steadied himself and led the Rams to a comeback victory sparked by a pair of touchdowns by first-round pick Lawrence Phillips. And the Rams win their season opener 26-16. So here's how the Wild West looks after the first week. The Niners, Panthers, and Rams all begin with a win. The Saints and Falcons have nowhere to go but up. Well, of course, the Saints take on the Panthers next week. That one will be at home, and we'll begin something new right here on Fox 8. We're calling it the Saints Fox 8 Experience. We've got interactive games, family fun, and we'll bring it all to you here live on Fox 8 next Sunday from 10 until 11 a.m. That'll do it for this week's edition of All Saints. Jim Moore and company will try and turn it around next week against the Panthers. We'll have it for you here live on All Saints. Good night.
Tonight on All Saints. On a day when the Saints said goodbye to Ricky Jackson, his former teammates came to town and pulled off the upset. We look back at the game and where the Saints go from here. Saints head coach Jim Mora will offer his post-game comments, and we'll check out the rest of the NFC West. It's all coming your way next on All Saints. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of All Saints. I'm Jim Gallagher, and as you can see, the gang is all here. We've got everybody. Joe Trahan, the man of the hour, Ricky Jackson, our Lionel Bienvenu. Everybody is here. We're going to get to all the Fox 8 sports team in just a second, but first, let us go to the game at hand, gentlemen. It was, to quote the great Yogi Berra, deja vu all over again. The Carolina Panthers, with 5 ex-Saints on the roster, turned back the clock. They played old-time Saints football. Good defense, good kicking game, added up to a close win. The Saints lose it 22-20, and just like last year, they fall to 0-2 on the season. Both losses in the NFC West. You could see the frustration etched on the Saints' faces. On offense, they had outrushed and outpassed the Carolina Panthers. For 60 minutes, the defense had kept the Panthers out of the end zone. But all the Saints had to show for it was an 0-2 start and a locker room full of questions.
It's not an 0-2 start. It's time for us to get a damn wake-up call. You know, we can go out there and talk about winning and doing this and hey, working hard, but the bottom line is on Sunday, when you don't win, it's not nice.
The game actually started out nicely for the Saints. They took the opening kickoff and marched down the field. Everett hitting Torrance Small from 9 yards out to give the Saints a 7-0 lead. Winslow Oliver tied this game up at 7-all. He took Klaus Wilmsmeyer's first punt all the way back, 84 yards for the score. Michael Haynes, who wasn't expected to play, then came up with a great 51-yard catch for the Saints. Everett then capped the drive 3 plays later with the 27-yarder to Haywood Jeffries. It was 14-7 New Orleans early in the second quarter.
They like to squat, and with the receivers we got a lot of experience. We got guys who can run and get the ball, so we knew they were going to squat on us, so we decided to go up top on them a few times, and it worked for us.
The Saints defense didn't give up a touchdown all day. They sacked Kerry Collins 3 times. Anthony Newman picked off one of his passes. And this team held John Casey to 5 field goals, 2 of them from 51 yards out. Yet the performance was no consolation.
No one cares about the pressure. The hell with the pressure when you lose. You know, that's what I'm saying. No one cares. No one in the team cares who had good pressure. We did not win.
The most important thing is keeping them out the end zone. You know, trying to make some plays. And Anthony had a pick. We had a couple of knockdowns. Pretty good on third down. Just that last drive was pretty difficult.
This game came down to the final 2 series. Doug Bryant's second field goal gave the Saints a 20-19 lead. The Panthers then took it from their own 28 to the New Orleans 5. The defense rose up, though, and stopped Carolina. Casey's 5th field goal gave them a 22-20 lead.
We should have been able to stop them from driving down and kicking field goals on us. We didn't do it, so I don't think we played good, well enough to win the game.
Still, the Saints had time to come back. But the team's 2-minute drive ended when Jim Everett's pass on 4th and 3 fell incomplete. Like last year, the Saints fall to 0-2. Both games, division losses.
I don't think any team wants a 0-2 start, but we fought hard today, and Carolina fought hard. Somebody has to win. Fortunately, unfortunately, it wasn't the Saints.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. Ricky Jackson, this is the kind of close game the Saints used to win, and Carolina, unfortunately, did it playing Saints football, didn't they?
Yeah, Carolina got some breaks today, and the Saints didn't get as many breaks, but, I mean, the bottom line is they won the game, and that's the key to it.
Yeah, you got to come through with the victory line.
Well, I tell you what, the Saints defense, Ricky, did not allow a touchdown today. The offense came out 2 first-half touchdown passes by Jim Everett, but a bad second half by the offense, another poor performance by the Saints special teams, and the Saints are still struggling to find the answer to that all-important question, how do we find a way to win, Joe?
I tell you what, one area of the Saints team that really let them down, the special teams, and it's so disappointing because that had been a bright spot in preseason. In fact, it was one of the few bright spots, but Winslow Oliver returning that punt for a touchdown, I think, was the key to the game, only because it turned the momentum around towards Carolina, took it away from the Saints, and it was kind of all downhill after that.
One of the things we're going to do every week right here on All Saints is, with Ricky Jackson's expertise, is kind of get the keys to the game. And Ricky, you felt that the pass rush, first of all, the Saints was really the key to keeping them in this game, correct?
Yeah, Ronaldo turned it up a notch and came around the corner like the old Ronaldo, and he's playing real well, and that's the key to it. The Saints need him to play well, and Wayne Martin, he always going to do a great job, but right now, look who's he getting right, and Brady coming in doing a good job. So the pass rush and defensive line, they kind of doing a great job now. Today showed that Ronaldo made some good plays and Wayne made some good plays, and those 2 guys on all cylinders, the defense is going to be good.
Right.
And I tell you what, we talked about special teams again. Last week it was bad against the 49ers. This week, with all the ex-Saints in there, I thought Morton Anderson was back in the dome. Joe, John Casey was great.
Casey just nailed them and nailed them. And again, it was like the Saints of old. The Panthers and Dom Capers stole a page out of Jim Moore's book.
Yeah, when you get that good type of kicking game, Ricky, that's got to be a real comfort for a player, isn't it?
Well, I thought it was Martin. I mean, I never heard it. Last week the guy kicked 5 field goals. He came back today and kicked 4. So, I mean, they're paying him a lot of money, and he's a great kicker. And, I mean, that's the key to it. And especially in the Dome, the wind don't bother the ball. I mean, the guy got a good strong leg and accuracy. And the Superdome, he can have a great day.
Yeah, he was a real good kicker for Seattle, too, and you can see what he did today. When you're talking about 51-yarders, those are crucial. Those are pressure-packed kicks, and he knocked them through today.
Yeah, they're pretty more easy to make in the Superdome, than outdoors. So he's a great dome kicker, and he showed me that today.
All right, we're going to talk a lot more about this football game, but we got to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to go one-on-one with Saints head coach Jim Mora, and we'll take a close look at that Saints last drive that failed to produce any points. Stick around, All Saints. We'll be right back. Welcome back to All Saints. We've heard from the Saints players. Now it's time to get the story from the head coach. Now, Lionel Bienvenu had a chance to sit down with Jim Mora after the game, and you got his thoughts on this second loss in a row.
Well, let's just say he wasn't happy. The Saints dropped to 0-2 on the season and in the division, and they have that shovel again, digging themselves an early hole. Jim Mora said about what you'd expect after a loss. He was not happy, but he's also not giving up. Jim, first of all, talk about this game. Battle of field goals in the second half, and nobody scored a touchdown. Came down to the last minutes. I know every game is tough to lose, but it had to be tough to lose this one as close as it was, and it was your home opener.
Yeah, we really felt like we had to get this one, and came up a little bit short. Division game, home opener, it would have been really a good one to get, and we worked very hard to get it. We just, like I say, we came up a little bit shorter than we wanted to. Two good defensive teams I thought out there today. They're a very good defensive team, and I thought our defense played pretty good. I was a little disappointed in that last drive that they had before they got their last field goal, but because we had them in pretty good field position, we let them out of the hole. But you know, our guys played hard. They really played hard. They laid it out there on the line, and what we've got to do is regroup and come back and get the next one.
And what happened? You mentioned that last drive. I think they had 3 pass plays. One was 14 yards, one was 18, one was 13. Was it a matter of their executing?
Well, I think it was a combination of 2 things. I think we probably could have played a little bit better, and they executed pretty well. But, you know, you can't let them do that. You can't let them just go down there, bam, 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 and pick up that kind of yardage in a critical situation like that. That's when you've got to rise to the occasion and get them stopped.
Jim, when you look at the stats, and I know stats don't mean anything when you look at the final score, but you basically won every statistical category in offense and defense. And what was the key in this game? It seemed like when you look at this, the Saints should have won.
You know, stats, the main stat is the final score, and the statistics don't always indicate, you know, who should have won or who did win. That's for darn sure. So, you know, the one stat that we're most concerned with is the final score, and that's the one that really matters.
When you get into a situation like this, you are 0-2. I know you guys started out 0-5 last year. Do you do anything different, anything special? Do you tell the team anything at a time like this?
I think the important thing is that we hang together right now and not panic. You know, we've never panicked in the past when we've had a little bit of a bad start, and we won't panic this time either. You know, 0-2, we still got 14 to play, and the key is to learn from this game and put it behind us and try to get better and correct the things that we did poorly or didn't do good enough, and then come back and get ready for Cincinnati.
Now, you heard Jim Mora say the Panthers' final drive was the killer today, but the Saints offense still had time to move it down and get a possible game-winning field goal. Saints offense fizzled in its final drive. This game came down to the final 2 minutes. 120 seconds between victory and defeat.
I thought we'd move the ball down there and get ourselves in a position to kick a field goal and win the game.
The Saints didn't have any timeouts left when they started the drive. They needed 50 yards to put kicker Doug Bryan in range for the possible game winner.
Because we had so many veteran players on the defense there was no panic or anything like that. We just knew what we had to do. Go out there. The good thing was they didn't have any timeouts left and be a good tackling football team, and we should survive that drive.
Jim Everett's completion to Irv Smith got the Saints 7 yards. Everett and Torrance Small couldn't connect on 3rd down. It was 4th and 3. Everett and Jeffries aren't on the same page. The ex-Saints, on the other hand, read it perfectly.
We're looking forward to catching a lot of passes there, but again, they caught us off stride. You know, they played a good defense. That's all I can say.
I remember Neil O'Donnell playing a Super Bowl, and he had a couple miscommunications. It happens. It's part of the game, guys. We try to do our best job. We try to do what's asked of us, no matter how many times that we go through this. We just need to get it done, and we didn't.
No doubt about it, they didn't get it done, but Ricky Jackson, this team is 0-2, both division losses. What do they need to do in the next couple of weeks? What would you say? What does this team need to do to get better and start winning some games?
Well, they got to get some key veterans to step up and be leaders, and they got to have a little more fight into you than they had today, and they got to come out with more fire and put a team like that away. I mean, clearly Cincinnati and Carolina teams that we're supposed to beat, you got to go out there and take the fight to them and show them right off the bat like Frisco or somebody would do them, and let them know that we come here to beat you and put you away, and we're going to try to do it early as possible. And we didn't do that today. We came out, we got the 7 points, and we let them get back in the ball game. They got the long punt return, and they had a chance to hang around. When you let a team hang around, give them momentum to think that they can beat you, stuff like that happens.
You got to put them away, don't you, Lionel?
Yeah, let me ask you this, Ricky. I mean, you say the team needs to get better and do the things. Do they have the talent on this team to win? Can they win football teams with the team they have right here?
Well, they can beat teams like this. I mean, and teams like Cincinnati, the Saints should be able to beat those teams. I mean, our coaches alone, well, the experience they got, the 11 years that Coach Mara been on, we should be able to beat those teams with just the experience that we got. it don't always take talent to beat people. Sometimes you beat people with just experience.
Right.
And the other thing, of course, it'll take, and it's what you were, Ricky, a playmaker. The Saints need somebody to step up and make a play, especially when the game is on the line. And that 2-minute drill, if someone can step up and make a play, okay, it's not a perfectly thrown ball. Maybe you have to stop, come back, make a tough catch. But until we get guys who are going to make plays like that, we're going to keep coming up close, but not enough.
So a lot of that from Michael Haynes today. Get him healthy and see maybe some of that coming from the wide receiver. We got to take another break, but we want to congratulate this week's Hibernia Junior captain. Ryan Hathaway went to midfield today for the coin toss before the game. He served as the Hibernia Junior captain for the effort. It was a thrill for Ryan to go out in the field with guys like Jim Dombrowski and Ricky Jackson. So our congratulations go out to Ryan Hathaway. Now we'll be back in a moment with more on that special day for big number 57, Ricky Jackson. All Saints. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It was Ricky Jackson Day at the Superdome, and our All Saints colleague earned a place in Saints history with his name and number going up on the Superdome's Wall of Fame. And Lionel, it was a great way to get the city champ back on the wall.
Well, Jim, back in June when Tom Benson announced he had hired Ricky as a consultant to the team, everybody was looking forward to the champ coming back where he belonged. Although Ricky played the last 2 years for those hated 49ers, how could you? He earned a Super Bowl ring along the way. He always said back then New Orleans was home, and it's fitting that his name and number will live forever on the Superdome wall. In his 13 years in the black and gold, Ricky Jackson put up some great numbers. He is first on the all-time sack list with 123. He recovered 26 fumbles. He was voted to the Pro Bowl 6 times. But Ricky meant so much more to the Saints than just stats. Number 57 gave his heart and soul. And as a team leader, he made other players that much better by just being around him. And his former teammates who played against the Saints today remember a player and a man who had a tremendous influence on them and the game they play.
Rick is a first-class individual, and I was honored to play 9 seasons with him. And I just know that Canton, Ohio is waiting for Ricky Jackson.
At halftime today, Ricky was honored by former teammates, players like Dalton Hilliard, Stan Brock, George Rogers, Vaughn Johnson, and Derlin Moore, and his former and current boss, Tom Benson, who brought number 57 back into the fold. And then it was time to immortalize Ricky Jackson by placing his name and number on the Superdome Wall of Fame, only the 4th person to receive such an honor. Ricky's longtime linebacking comrade Sam Mills spoke to his old friend after the game.
I just told him, you know, congratulations, and I just told him, hey, you belong up there. That's where you belong. He's been an outstanding player throughout the years, and you know, through different coaches. It didn't matter what the situation was. Ricky Jackson was always a dominant player.
Ricky, a lot of memories out there for your former teammates, a standing ovation from the crowd. It was a special day for you.
It was a very special day for me, but you know, losing the game took a lot away from it because, I mean, I wanted the Saints to win the ball game so bad, and that's the only thing that really counted with me. I came back here, and I'm with the Saints now, and if the Saints don't win, it don't mean anything. So my thing is, I want the team to win, I want the team to do well, and today they honored me, and I was very happy, very proud of it, but I'm such a winner to, you know, that's what I was looking forward to, winning the ball game.
It still has to be nice, though, when you think about all the great guys you're up there with. I mean, Jim Finks, Pete Maravich, Archie Manning, all guys that you knew and respected, I know.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I had great deal of respect for all those guys who they have up there. I love Archie, I love Mr. Finks, and I thought Pete Maravich was one of the best basketball players ever lived. So for me to get a chance to be up there with those guys, I mean, that's the ultimate for me. But, you know, back to, you know, like I said, Archie feel the same way I feel. I mean, he glad to be up there. I know Mr. Finks will be glad, but it's the Saints come first. I mean, right. You know, that's what.
It's a team game, isn't it?
Right.
All right, guys, we're going to take another break, but before we go, we want to salute Edward Jones of New Orleans. He was today's participant in the halftime cash catch. Now, Edward was able to catch the 30-yard punt, but he had a little trouble with the 50 and the 70-yarder. And it's not easy, believe Lionel and I will not lie to you. Stick around. We'll check out the rest of the NFC West next on All Saints.
Saints has been brought to you in part by Hibernia, your local Dodge dealers, Radiophone, Don Bone Ford, and by Miller Lite.
Welcome back to the show. The Saints versus the Panthers wasn't the only NFC West head-to-head matchup today. Now, Joe Trey has been following all the action division-wide, and Joe, you got the story.
That's right. Now, the Falcons were the only team not playing within the division. Atlanta faced off against the Vikings. Meanwhile, the Rams, like the Saints last week, found out that the Niners have one heck of a defensive ball club. But there are still some questions lingering in the Bay Area. Despite the 49ers' 3 rushing touchdowns against the Saints last week, the San Francisco media is still not sold on the Niner offense. The headlines in the San Francisco Chronicle pose some tough questions for Steve Young and company. The Chronicle says, quote, the 2 big questions about their offense remain. 1, can they run the ball effectively enough to force other teams to play regular defensive schemes? And 2, can they pass protect well enough to keep their quarterback healthy for a full season, end quote. The answer to the second question is definitely no. Today, against the Rams at 3Com, Young is forced to scramble and he pulls up lame in the 3rd quarter. Young's strains are growing on the play, and he'll be day-to-day. As for the rushing attack, Derek Laville punches one in for the touchdown to give the Niner offense a shot in the arm as the Niners go on to win easily. Meanwhile, in St. Louis, ex-Saint quarterback Steve Walsh is having a tough time, and Sports Illustrated saw it coming. In their football preview, it says, quote, Walsh might not beat himself, but there is concern that his lack of arm strength will allow opposing teams to ease off of their coverage of wideout Isaac Bruce and increase pressure on the running game, end quote. Such was the case today. Walsh was just 2 of 6 for 13 yards in the 1st quarter. He gets yanked in favor of the rookie Tony Banks, who couldn't do much better. Banks fumbles 3 times after sacks. The Niners record 7 sacks total today, beating St. Louis 34-zip. In Atlanta, the Falcons continue to try and use ex-Saint Craig Ironhead Hayward to balance their offensive attack. SI says, quote, proving that there is some run to complement the shoot, the Falcons won 8 of the 9 games last year in which Hayward, who averaged a career-best 4.6 yards per rush, carried the ball at least 14 times, end quote. But with Hayward nursing a sprained shoulder and on the sidelines, the Falcons had to rely on the shoot of the run and shoot today against the Vikes. Jeff George hits Terrence Mathis for the TD, but Atlanta's red gun doesn't have enough ammo. QB Brad Johnson, in his first NFL start, leads the Vikings to a comeback victory over Atlanta. Johnson to Dave Frisch for the 4th quarter TD, and the Vikes go on to win it 23-17. So here's how the West shapes up after 2 weeks. The Niners and Panthers on top with a pair of wins each. The Rams, there you see them at 1-1, and the Falcons and Saints still searching for win number 1, and of course the Saints will try and get it done next week against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that was a crucial loss, there's no doubt about it. When you look at the Saints being 0-2 into this division, as Lyle said a little earlier in the show, Ricky, they have dug themselves a hole here.
Well, they dug themselves a hole, but Coach Morrow's a great coach, and he motivates guys pretty well. Right now he's going to have to just tighten up on the team and, you know, get the guys together, and I think that everybody willing to listen to him and follow him. So if they stick with Coach, I think they'll try to come back.
All right, guys, real quick.
I'll tell you what, I think they've got to get to Jeff Blake. Ricky, they got good pressure, and if they get pressure on Jeff Blake, doesn't look like the Bengals have much else. I think the Saints will have a good chance in this one.
Well, the Bengals line is real beat up. We should get some defensive pressure, like Ricky said. The defensive line has been playing well. That could be a key.
Yeah, they're going to have that defensive line. We're going to check it out all next week on All Saints. Thanks for joining us. We'll all be back here next Sunday night, right here on Fox 8 at 9:30 for All Saints. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next Sunday.
Tonight on All Saints, the Saints are sinners for the 3rd week in a row, giving the Bengals their first win of the year. We'll talk about what went wrong and what the Saints need to do to turn it around. Ricky Jackson looks at the turning points. Saints head coach Jim Moore talks candidly about the loss. and we'll see what this does to the Saints in the NFC West. All Saints is next.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of All Saints. As you can see, the gang's all here. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Gallagher. And for the next 30 minutes, we're going to dissect today's 30-15 loss. The Saints losing to the Bengals. And joining me, as always, is six-time Saints All-Pro Ricky Jackson and the rest of the Fox 8 team, Lionel Bienvenu and Joe Trahan. Guys, of course, we'll get to your comments in just a moment. But first, let us look back at this loss. It was a rough one. For the second week in a row, the Saints had their chances against a team they could clearly play with, a team they could have beaten. The Saints simply didn't get the job done. And the end result was the team's third straight loss to start the season.
I've been coaching a long time. I've usually can say some things that make some sense at the end of a game or give some reasons or whatever, but I'm totally stumped about this football team right now.
You could see the frustration etched on the Saints' faces. This was a game they could have and should have won.
This isn't Cincinnati's deal. It's our deal. It's for up to us to make something happen.
The Bengals had the ball 4 times in the first half. They scored 3 times. With the game tied at 3-all, Jeff Blake found Darnay Scott open past the Saints safeties. It's a 24-yard touchdown pass and a 10-3 Bengal lead.
We have to play collectively as a team. We just haven't been able to get it done. I'm not sure if it's practice. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know what it is.
The offense responded with a 3-and-out. The frustrated Mario Bates would not get back on the field again, finishing with just 4 yards for the game.
I feel embarrassed. I feel belittled that I wasn't able to do anything. And, you know, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the feeling.
The Saints went to the air, Everett connecting with Michael Haynes for 47 yards. Haynes would finish with 5 catches for 156 yards, his best day as a New Orleans Saint.
We knew they'd play us man-to-man, and, you know, I feel like I can run faster than those guys, so we took advantage of using my speed against them.
Doug Bryan cut the lead to 10-6 with his second field goal of the game, but the Bengals came right back. Kajana Carter scoring his first career touchdown on a 31-yard run. The Bengals led 17-6 at the half.
We had him shut down. He had a couple of pops here and there, but other than that, they didn't do anything spectacular. You know, I think we just got to play. We just got to be consistent and just play and just win on Sundays.
Tyrone Hughes sparked the team by taking the third quarter kickoff back 58 yards down the sideline. Everett hit Irv Smith for 37 yards. And that set up fullback Ray Zellers in for Bates. His 3-yard touchdown run cut the lead to just 5 points. But the Saints' 2-point gamble failed. It was up to the next 3 possessions, and this game turned for the Saints at that time. All 3 possessions ended in turnovers for the Saints. Everett was intercepted twice. He fumbled the center exchange once. The Bengals' 5-point lead went to 11.
You know, I took some chances. You know, I thought I was playing pretty solid early, and then at the end, you know, they tipped the ball up and they made a couple interceptions. Then at the last one, I wish I could have had that one back, but you know, I have to take the blame. I pulled the trigger, and you know, that happens, and I have to play better.
The Saints came away with a 30-15 loss, a loss that once again left this team searching for answers.
You look around the room and you have just as much talent here as everyone else. But it seems like we haven't been able to get the job done the last 2 years.
There's been a lot of talking about, you know, going out and win. Now everybody just needs to shut up and go play.
Ricky Jackson, this team does need to go out and play. 0-3 is not the way they wanted to start the season, and turnovers just killed this team today.
I mean, turnover hurt the team. You never want to go 0-3, but when you get to be 0-3, now you got to do something next, and the next step would be come out and make sure you know, get the win in Arizona, you know, when they come here, and that's going to be the key to it. We got to win the first ball game before you can get the second one. So the quick way to turn around is to take the rest of this week and concentrate on Arizona, forget about, you know, the loss today, and just focus on Arizona and take care of that.
Wow, this may be a hard one to forget, though.
Well, I tell you what, the thing that sticks out of my mind is that the Saints' failure to get into the end zone. They were second quarter, they had 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. They got a field goal at it. Fourth quarter, 1st and goal at the 6. Got a field goal. It was 23-15. You scored touchdowns at that point. You're in the game. Also, Jim Everett is forcing passes, throwing bad interceptions. Doesn't look very good. Rookie, they got some work to do this week. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, Joe, it was a rough one, wasn't it?
It was. I said it last week, and I'll keep saying it until the Saints can get it done. You've got to make plays when it's a clutch situation. They made some great plays in the first half. Jim Everett was on target. We get into the second half, though. You get a few tip balls, a few bad breaks. The Saints end up, again, on bottom, not on top.
All right, guys, we got to take our first break, but stick around. When we get back, Ricky will break down his keys to this game, and there are a lot of signs of frustration in this locker room. We'll delve deeper into the problem when All Saints returns. Welcome back to All Saints. One of the great things about having an All-Pro on our staff is you get to tap his knowledge. And every Sunday, Ricky Jackson is going to break down this game with his keys to victory, or in this case, the defeat. And Ricky, in the first half, it had to be the Bengals' ability on third down. They were able to just stay on the field. Third down situations, 7 for 9. When they got a chance to move the ball, they were able to keep it.
I mean, and that hurt. I mean, anytime a team can just hold the ball and the situation they was in, we should have been able to get off the field, and we didn't make the plays that we needed to make. I mean, a couple of times they hit us on the underneath zone and got a chance to make a couple first down that, you know, we was in a good position. We just didn't make the plays. And, I mean, that's the key to the ball game. You got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah, Jeff Blake was able to step up, and it seems like when he needed to hit Carl Pickens or he needed that play, Blake and company were able to make it today.
Yeah, we was a little soft on a couple of them, but I thought that we had good defense going. We just didn't make the play at that time.
Right now, in the second half, of course, you go to that. 4 turnovers in the second half, 3 interceptions by Jim Everett, 1 fumble, and I don't care who you're playing, you're not going to win with that kind of turnovers in the second half.
I mean, it was a rough day. I mean, Jim had a rough day. The interception, I mean, it put the team in a bad position, you know what I mean, and make a lot of guys get down on themselves and stuff because they feel like, you know, you get a chance to lose the ball game once the interception occurred like that. But, you know, we just got to fight back and forget about that game, and that's what I encourage everybody to do. You know, you can't pay attention to what didn't happen. You got to go forward.
Yeah, it is tough to do, though, when you have a game like that, Joe. When you have a game, you have 4 turnovers, you're going to be thinking about it tonight. The players are definitely going to be thinking about this a little bit.
It's true, and these were crucial turnovers because the Saints were in the ball game. When it was 20-12, you score 6, you get a 2-point conversion, you're tied, who knows what happens. They still had chances late. Every time they had a chance to come back and make a statement, they faltered and they had a costly turnover. And not only is it tough on the offense, but then your defense has to get right back out there. And to their credit, they did a good job, held them to field goals, but the offense just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Lionel?
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, you talk about a loss sticking with you for a while, that this one really hurt, and you could tell by the way the players were coming off the field and on the sideline. Fighting on the field, people getting thrown out of the game. This was obviously a frustrated Saints team out there today. They don't know what's going on. You could see it building the first 2 weeks, and it came to a boil at Riverfront Stadium today.
We're doing everything we can do, and we're just not getting the job done, the results, and that's what's tearing me up inside, and I swear to God, it's tearing me up inside.
It's very frustrating to go out there and be able to move the ball but can't get it in the end zone.
The frustration came to a head today. The boiling point reached in the second half. Each time the Saints defense would hold the Bengals, a turnover by the Saints offense would give it right back.
We have to play better than that if we want to win. Wish I could take a couple balls back, but I can't. I tried my best, and it just wasn't good enough today.
Turnovers are the most telling of all stats, and the 4-0 margin against the Saints tells you why this team is off to another 0-3 start.
I don't care who you play against in this league. If you give them a lot of turnovers, you can't win the game. There's no way you're going to give a team that many turnovers expect to win.
The end of the game saw Eric Allen flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct after an interference call, and Mark Fields ejected after a fight. Pretty much summing up the team's feelings on what looks to be another dismal season.
0-3 is very frustrating, you know, and we're a better team than that, and we're just not showing it right now.
We're not playing collectively as a team. You know, The offense may play well one half, the defense plays bad. We haven't played well, and I'm not sure what the reason is. We haven't played well as a team, you know, for a total 60 minutes, or just a half, you know, and it's really been a problem.
Yeah, Jim Moore said it after the game. He doesn't know what's wrong. It's tearing him up inside. The Saints players obviously are out of control as well. They're trying to keep control, Joe. But in this situation, you're trying your heart out. You're going 0-3. The question is, what do you do now to kind of turn that around?
I think the guy who exemplifies exactly what's going on is Eric Allen. He is known around the league as the utmost of professionals. He's a real stand-up guy, a great guy. He's been working his butt off, and even he lost it today, completely lost it. Mark Fields also lost it. And I know, Ricky, I saw you talking to him on the sidelines. What were some of his feelings after that happened?
I mean, Mark felt like the guy hit him first, and he retaliated. And like I explained to him, the second guy they always gonna catch, and that's the guy gonna be thrown out.
Right.
So I mean, that's ever since football been about. They always catch a second guy.
It's never the first guy, is it?
Right. But the frustration is, anytime you lose the ball game that you should have won and feel like you should have won, I mean, if you got any competitiveness in you, you're gonna automatic, you know, be frustrated. And a lot of those guys, Willie Roaf and Wayne, some guys show up different than others. I had a hard time with it. I hated to lose, and I mean, sometimes I would say the wrong thing. And I mean, a lot of these guys are reacting the only way they know how. I mean, they fighting losing battle, and what they're trying to do is just, you know, show their frustration to try to get it back on the right track.
All right, guys, we got to get it on track. We got to take another break, but stick around. We'll go one-on-one with Saints head coach Jim Mora. We'll get his thoughts on today's loss. All Saints. We'll be right back. Welcome back to All Saints. The Saints' 0-3 start has certainly affected the entire Saints team, but no one more so than head coach Jim Mora. Lionel?
I'll tell you what, Jim, I've never seen Jim Mora like this before after a game. I had a chance to sit down with him and go one-on-one with the Saints head coach after today's loss.
Jim, first of all, talk about your feelings after this when there was some frustration on the field with a fight at the end of the game. I know the team's frustrated. What are your feelings right now?
Well, I'm about as frustrated as they are, Lionel. I'm very disappointed. We practice hard, we work hard, but we're not getting the job done on Sunday. You know, you got to come out and win football games, and we're 0-3, and that's a fact of life. This football team is, I would say, very down right now and very frustrated right now, and I would be a member of that group.
Hard to explain a little bit. I know in the post-game press conference you said you really had no answers for the way things are going for this team right now.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, it's not like we don't go out and work hard on during the week. We had really good practices this week. Our coaches are busting their tail to win. But we're not coming up with the results on Sunday, and that's what it's all about, you know, in this business. And we're not getting the job done, and you know, I'll take full responsibility for that, and I will. It's my responsibility.
Jim, in the second half, you had 4 turnovers there. You came out and scored on the first possession, but then turned it over 4 times. That obviously a major part of the ball game. The balls just seems not to be bouncing the Saints' way a lot of times.
Well, you kind of make your own breaks in this business, and the 4 turnovers hurt us a lot because, and these aren't excuses, these are reasons, because I really felt like we could have come back and beat these guys, and we had a chance to. But when you're fighting to come back, and then you're moving the ball a little bit and doing a good job on defense the second half, we really did a real good job on defense the second half, and then you turn it over to them 4 times, you know, that pretty well puts a stop to any chances you have of getting the job done, and that's what we did, and hey, that's our own fault.
You started 0-5 last year, but 0-3 this year. Are you worried about where the season is headed at this point?
I don't know what I'm feeling right now. You know, I hate to be this way, but I don't know what I'm feeling right now. I still have confidence in our players. I still have confidence in our coaches. I really feel these guys are trying, but we're not getting the job done, and we got 13 games to go, and we got to find a way to start winning.
Jim, what do you do now? Do you go back to practice? Do you start making changes, maybe a Zellers for a Bates or a Doremus for a Small? Do you go back to practice and try to get something different going?
We'll we'll sit down as a staff, as we always do, and evaluate our performance, what happened. Try to figure out ways to get better, and in a lot of ways, you know, whether it's personnel or what we're doing, and try to get this thing turned around.
Ricky, Coach Moore said that the team looks great in practice. They're trying hard. He has no idea why this is happening.
Well, I mean, they're trying hard, but practice is something that each coach make the plays and run what they want to run. So sometimes practice can fool you. I mean, because whatever play that the coach designed, he designed the defense at the same time to stop it. So it makes you look good in practice, but it don't always work in the game. Sometimes they change it up in the game.
All right, we got to take another break, but stick around. When we get back, Joe Trahan will check out the rest of the NFC West. Stay right where you are. All Saints will be right back. Tonight on All Saints, in a battle of winless teams, the Saints come up short yet again. We'll look back at the Saints' 28-14 loss to the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see what went wrong and what the 0-4 Saints are planning to do about it. And we'll check out the rest of the NFC West. It's all coming your way next on All Saints. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of All Saints. I'm Jim Gallagher. Within the next half hour, the Fox 8 sports team will break down the Saints-Cardinals game for you. Of course, the gang's all here with me as always. All-Pro Ricky Jackson and the rest of the Fox 8 crew. Lionel Bienvenu and Joe Trahan. Guys, we're going to get to your comments in just a minute. Coming up, though, we're going to take you inside the locker room, show you what the Saints players had to say. Ricky, of course, break down what went wrong today, and there's a lot to talk about. Our cameras will make their way into the Cardinals locker room as well, and Lionel will look at what can be done to salvage this season. But first, let's get to the game. And we heard it all preseason long, over and over and over again. People talked about before the season, all they heard was this one thing. This is going to be a new, improved Saints team. They brought in new players. They brought in new coaches. They had a new attitude. We are now 4 games into the season, and unfortunately, it's the same old Saints. Just like last year, they are 0-4, winless for the month of September.
Don't care anymore. I don't care anymore, G. I don't care.
Only 34,000 fans cared enough to even show up at the Superdome today. It was the smallest non-strike crowd in 16 years.
They pay their money. They sit up in the stands. They evaluate. They coach. They play the game. They do everything they can do. You know, they want wins too. We want wins. So, you know, we're really not that far apart.
It's not about coming close and, oh, we fought hard. You know, that sounds good, but bottom line, we are losing, and we need to stop.
For the second week in a row, the Saints couldn't stop turning the ball over. In the second quarter alone, the Saints turned the ball over on 3 straight possessions. Ray Zellers, making his first start of the year, fumbles. Next possession, Jim Everett going for the deep pass to Michael Haynes. He's intercepted. And then Everett and Zellers can't even connect on a simple handoff.
It takes a win out of yourselves. I mean, you know, we had things going. The momentum was in our favor. Then, like I said, you know, you put the defense in a bad situation. And defense, you know, played most of the second quarter and a lot of the second half, and it's just a matter of time. So, you know, offensively, you know, we just gotta, you know, get things together. Despite the problems, the defense held their ground. The Saints only trailed at this point 6-0. Ernest Dixon blocked Jeff Eagles' punt. Brian Jones recovered for the score, and that kind of play usually turns a game around. At that point, you had to think, hey, that's a momentum-turning ball.
You think so. Most of the teams we play, if they get big plays like that on us, it seems to help them further along in the game. It just didn't happen for us.
Kent Graham only completed 11 passes on the day, but his 20-yarder to Rob Moore gave the Cardinals a 14-7 lead. Still, this game was actually turned on a pair of runs by unknown LaShawn Johnson. First, he breaks one up the middle for 56 yards and a 21-7 Cardinal lead. Next series, one play, Johnson goes 70 yards for the touchdown. The third-year player finished with a Cardinal record, 214 yards rushing.
We were playing well from the beginning of the game, and I think we just had a lapse, and those 2 run plays just really killed us.
Those 2 long runs, I mean, that's you know, you just can't do something like that. That just killed us. Those 2 long runs just killed us. I mean, they weren't the only plays in the game that were very, very critical, but they certainly were. And You just don't see those kind of things happen very often in the National Football League, not against a defense like we should have and are capable of having.
The Saints trailed at this point 28-7. Everett connected with Hayward Jeffries from 23 yards out, and that did cut the lead to 28-14.
The money players got to come forth, and I don't have to say any names. We know all who's doing it. The 11 guys on the field, they got to play. If they don't play, get somebody else in the game that wants to win. That's the bottom line.
It was a team that we thought that was beatable. People were saying we're favored, all this, but you got to go out there and do it, and we didn't get it done today.
How do you keep your confidence up at this point?
You have to. If you don't keep your confidence up, you're going to end up 0-16. Oh, and 16, guys, I'm going to put this as simply as I can. I don't want to think about 0-16, but if the Saints can't beat the Cardinals, who can they beat? Ricky, let me start with you.
Well, I mean, they got to go out now and play Baltimore and make sure they get that one. You got to start winning somewhere, and the next team you play, that's the team you got to beat. I mean, you got a lot of veterans on this team. They got to take it upon themselves to step up and have a better performance than they had today. I mean, they're not only letting the city down, they're letting themselves down, their family down. So what you got to do now is put all your pride into one focus, and that's to go out and beat Baltimore.
Yeah, they've got to win this next one. But, Lionel, this was a struggle today.
Well, Tom Benson said this week, he said, the ship would stay the course. That is his quote. Well, the course is set for Atlantis at this point, maybe the Bermuda Triangle. And the ship they're on is the Titanic. 4 games into the season, and I would say any hope for the playoffs is over. I know that's a bold statement, but if you can't beat the 0-3 Cardinals, like you said, Jim, in your home stadium, you might as well call it quits. I think the Saints are done as far as playoffs after the season. I'd have to believe that Coach Moore is done as well.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Unless this team, I mean, when you look at this team today, they played so poorly. It's hard to imagine this team being a winning team, much less a playoff caliber team, Joe.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we had Phil Collins beating the drums in that open package, and Saints fans are going to be beating the drum to get Jim Mora out of here. Finally, though, the thing that was disturbing about this game was someone came up with a big play, but the Saints couldn't use it as a springboard. Bryant Jones returns the block punt for a TD in the first half. Now, a good team would have used the momentum to rally and blow out the weaker Cardinals. Instead, the Saints sputtered and made LaShawn Johnson look like Billy White Shoes Johnson, the way he was running away from Saints defenders with ease and with speed. It was ugly.
Guys, we're going to talk a lot more about this game, but we got to take our first break of the night. But don't go anywhere. Ricky, of course, is in the house. He has breakdown of the game like only Ricky can see it. And we'll find out what both sides of the ball, what these guys need to do to get in the winning column. We'll be right back. All Saints will be with you in just a second. Welcome back to the show. The Saints certainly had a lot of problems today, but we'll focus in on the major ones in Ricky Jackson's breakdown. And Ricky, the first problem is easy really to pick out. You got 2 second-half big plays by the Cardinals in the running game. LaShawn Johnson, first of all, with a 56-yarder, then a 70-yarder. Both those plays really broke the Saints back today.
Yeah, just like the guy did in the Super Bowl for Washington Redskins, the Smith guy. I mean, this guy right here, you know what I mean, he got a real good feet, and that's what kept him going right there. I mean, he's faster than a lot of people give him credit for. But, I mean, anytime you get a guy who you don't really know, and this guy haven't been shown on film, you know what I mean, you really don't know nothing about him, and he comes up with these kind of runs. It's like, you know, just like the guy did at the Super Bowl. I mean, you really wasn't ready for him, didn't know much about him, and he just put on a good performance today.
But part of that's a tackling problem, too. You got to get a helmet on this guy and slow him down.
Well, you got to get a helmet on him, but the referee got in the way one time.
Right. Did cut off Greg Jackson.
Right, he cut off Greg, but it's just a physical. You just got that physical, those guys, and they played well, and they was a little more physical us today, and that's where they got us at.
Second problem, of course, was the passing game. Even Jim Moore admitted afterwards, he said this passing game is struggling. Jim Everett, 18 for 33, only 164 yards, and really in the key possession in the fourth quarter when the Saints needed to get this ball back and do something, they had 4 possessions, and 3 times they failed to move the football.
Yeah, a lot of people putting it on Carl Smith, and coaches, you know, he might have some of the blames coming to him, but a lot of this stuff, you know, Jim got to take control of too. So I mean, it just, you know, this is a team sport, and whenever you need 10 yards and you throw the ball 3 yards with a guy facing you and knowing that he can't get the first down, you know, a lot of people want to point fingers at Coach Carl Smith, but you can't always point the finger at the coach. Sometimes the player got to get out there and do his role better than what he's doing.
Yeah, sometimes you look at the 49ers and they may call a short pattern and a guy makes that play, and these guys sometimes you do have to, sometimes you really do have to put on the player and say, somebody's got to step up and make these plays.
Right, but I mean, everybody, you know, I hear people that point that call, you know, but right now as a team where both guys, Carl and Jim, got to do better jobs along with the rest of the players on the team, got to come up with the play when you need to play, and that's what we haven't been doing. When you need 10 yards, you got to make sure you get the 10 yards. You can't get 3 or 4 yards.
Right.
You got to go for the 10. And them are the mistakes that we've been making.
Nothing drives you crazier than seeing that 3rd and 7, you go for 5-yard out pattern. The Saints, of course, made a superstar of LaShawn Johnson today, and it was watching those holes in the fourth quarter, Lionel. I mean, he had some place to run.
Well, he couldn't believe it. He said it was a dream. He saw that green, he didn't know what to do. Guy had 4 yards rushing in the first 3 games, and he said it was a dream. Coaches say the big plays make the difference between winning and losing, and never was that more evident than today when the Saints defense was stunned and broken down by little-known backup running back LaShawn Johnson. After the game, he talked about those 2 plays that added up to the Cardinals' first win.
Well, the first one was, I think, a 16 power roll. That was the name of the play, and it's an off-tackle play. And I saw the defense flow, and I knew if I cut it back, it should be a hole there, and everything worked out. The second one was a play we called 34, and it was made to bend back, and you know, Larry had a great block, and no line was just driving people off the ball, and I was just able to spring it and get free.
I tell you what, there's not much hope right now, guys, but they still have 12 more to play. How will they do it? What will this team do? Will they give up? We'll talk about more when we come back, Jim.
Exactly. That's coming up next. We're going to take another break. But as we go to break, we'd like to congratulate Jonathan DuPont of New Orleans. 9-year-old Jonathan got the thrill of a lifetime today. He got the chance to go out with the Saints captains for the coin toss. He was the Hibernia Junior Captain of the Week. And Jonathan DuPont, our congratulations go out to you. Stick around. All Saints. We'll be right back. Welcome back to All Saints. The team is down. There's no doubt about that. And it's easy to kick them when they're down, but the players, they've got to try and stay up. They have 12 games left to go in this season. Lionel?
You can't end this one, can you, Jim? You got to play the 12, don't you?
You got to play all 12, brother.
They've got to play it out. You're right. The 0-4 start is great for Winn-Dixie and Schwegmans because the Bags are back in full force. But for the team, it's bad, real bad. Jim Morris said today this is as frustrated as he's ever been, and the players are facing a second straight season that is over before they even reach the halfway mark. They're down, but they need to keep fighting until they're counted out.
Last year, now you're 0-4, and everyone's down on you. It's tough. But
The cold, hard fact stares you right in the face. There is no denying it. The season is quickly leaving the Saints behind like a runaway train. To stop it, more changes have to be made.
We're not moving the ball. We're not winning games. You don't change nothing when it's working, but when it's not working, make a change. And I'm very honored, you know, in my mind and my soul, I think, hey, that'll challenge some players.
Saints coach Jim Morris says he cannot put a finger on the problem. The Saints still claim it's not a talent thing. They say the 0-4 record isn't because the Saints are simply a bad football team. Morris says he sees the talent every day on the practice field, and it confounds him why the practice team doesn't show up for the game on Sunday.
We really have good practices. The guys came back and worked hard on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and I mean, busted their tail and were prepared, and there weren't mental breakdowns and things like that. I mean, it was an excellent, it was a great week of practice. That's what's so frustrating to me, is this team is working extremely hard during the week to come out and play well on Sunday, and then we're not doing it for 60 minutes.
practice don't mean a thing. You win on Sundays. That's all. You gotta want to play. You gotta see it sit in your eyes. You gotta go out there and want to make that big play. You gotta pitch it before the game. You gotta do it. It doesn't have nothing to do through Mondays to Saturdays. You got some teams don't even put pads on, so they're not taking that practice serious. They take Sunday serious.
Fans come out to see us win. We can practice like Tarzan, but we coming out here and we're playing like Jane, and it's got to stop, man.
We'll just try to pick up the pieces and try to get this thing better. Like I said, we're challenged right now. How we come out of this challenge will determine a lot about ourselves and this team.
All right, scenario here, Ricky. Ricky Jackson is the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. What do you do at this point to turn this thing around?
Well, I would get some fire into some of those guys, and I will make sure that they come out ready, and you'll see a different team. You'll see a team with some fire in them, and I think that's what Coach going to do. I think that this week he's going to go back and beat old Coach Marr, and he's going to put some fire up on some of these guys, which some of them need, either get benched or get out of here or whatever. But whatever it takes to win, that's what I think Coach is going to do.
All right, guys, there were a lot. We got to take another break, but there's a lot of action around the NFC West and around the league today. When we get back, we're going to take a look at the battle of the unbeaten teams in the West. Joe Treya is going to give us that tour when we come back. And we'd also like to congratulate Michael Tarnowski. He's the winner of this week's Coca-Cola Cash Catch Award. Now, Mike, he did all right. Caught that first one, that 30-yarder. Had a little trouble with the 50-yarder, but he came back and caught that final 50-yarder. Our congratulations go out to young Mike. Now stick around, All Saints. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's time now for our weekly look at what's going on in the rest of the NFC West. The division leaders were slugging it out today. Some surprising results. Joe, you got the scoop.
Yeah, how about them Panthers, boys? Let me tell you, less than 2 years ago, they didn't have any players, and now they're on top of the division. And they get the win today without their starting quarterback. That's where we start in this week's Rest of the West. The Panthers were looking to stir memories of last year's history-making win over the Niners. The talk around Charlotte this week centered around the fact that Carolina would have to try and pull off the big win without their starting quarterback, Kerry Collins, who sprained his knee 2 weeks ago against the Saints. Charles Chandler of the Charlotte Observer writes, quote, "So for the first time in the franchise's 19-game history, a Panther quarterback will miss a start because of an injury. It coincides with arguably Carolina's biggest game. The Panthers and 49ers are 2-0 and tied for first place in the NFC West division," end quote. But Collins' backup Steve Berline didn't miss a beat. He throws a pair of touchdown passes, both to ex-Saint Wesley Walls. Berline threw for 290 yards total, and the Panthers take sole possession of first place in the West with the win over San Fran. Meanwhile, the pregame talk of the Golden Gate City focused on a matchup between Jerry Rice and an old friend. Gary Swan of the San Francisco Chronicle says, quote, "The Jerry Rice-Eric Davis matchup, long a practice field spectacle for coaches and teammates, finally takes center stage Sunday when the 49ers meet the Carolina Panther cornerback, still fondly called ED," end quote. Rice caught 10 balls for 127 yards total, but the Niner passing game faltered when it counted most. Steve Young gets picked off deep in Carolina territory late in the game, and the Panthers go on to win this one easily, 23-7. In Ram country, the St. Louis coaching staff is still trying to settle on a starting QB. Ex-Saint Steve Walsh has struggled, as has rookie Tony Banks, but Walsh has held on to the starting job so far. Jim Thomas with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch writes, quote, "When Coach Rich Brooks gave Steve Walsh the quarterback job in a vote of confidence earlier this week, it was also a vote for a strong running game," end quote. But the running game wasn't there today against the Redskins. St. Louis had to rely on Walsh, and once again, he couldn't come through. Walsh threw 3 interceptions, and the Rams lose to the Redskins 17-10. And the Falcons are in the late game right now. They're taking on Philadelphia. That game in the fourth quarter, the Falcons are losing that one 26-10, so they are now 0-3. The Panthers on top of the division. Who would have thunk it after at this juncture of the season?
They're really playing well. Ricky, got about 20 seconds left. Let me ask you real quick. Can this team turn this around? Is there any chance, any hope for this team to turn it around with 12 games left to go in the season?
Yeah, it's a very possibility. We got to go out and get some fire from somebody, and you know what I mean, somebody got to step up and take control, and this team still can get in the playoff if they do the right thing from here.
So you think, Ricky, that this team has enough talent on it? It's not a talent problem. It's a matter of them just playing well?
Well, you got to do the right things. Mr. Kuharich and Coach Morrow and everybody got to do the right thing for this thing to turn around and gel, and that's the only way it's going to work.
All right, guys, that is it for this week's edition of All Saints. I want to thank you all for joining us. Next week, we head to Baltimore. The Saints go up there for the first time since 1973. I want to thank the guys on my left, Ricky Jackson, Lyle Bienvenu, Joe Trahan, and, of course, all the people behind the scenes who help us out right here on Fox 8 Sports. Next week, the Saints will break down that Saints-Ravens game for you. So for all of us at Fox 8 Sports, thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching All Saints.
Coming up tonight on All Saints, the same thing that's been coming up on every All Saints show this season, another Saints loss. The team falls to 0-5 after falling to the Baltimore Ravens. Former Saints All-Pro linebacker Ricky Jackson will tell us what the Saints did wrong and what, if anything, they did right. What will Coach Jim Mora say after this one? And just how far behind are the Saints in the NFC West? The answers to all those questions coming up next on All Saints.
As the Baltimore poet Edgar Allan Poe once wrote, quoth the raven, nevermore, or should we say, quoth the ravens, nevermore. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of All Saints. I'm Jim Gallagher, and in this next half hour, me and the rest of the Fox 8 Sports team will bring you the post-game summary from Baltimore. Now, the crew is, of course, all here, along with me, former All-Pro Ricky Jackson, a few seats down, Lionel Bienvenu, and our Joe Trahan. And coming up, we'll recap that Saints loss to the Ravens, and we'll hear what the players have to say about that 0-5 record. Ricky will break it down for us, as painful as it may be, and Joe will put head coach Jim Mora on the hot seat, having to face another loss this season. And Lionel, of course, will bring us up to speed on the rest of the NFC West. We start with the game, and heading to Baltimore, a player on an 0-4 team might feel that it couldn't get any worse than this, but it did. Playing a team whose helmet bears the sign of death should have been a sure sign that the Raven would be the bearer of bad news.
Why you punish me?
At some point, you have to get pissed off and want to get out there and dominate people and kill people.
They didn't run the basic plays. We just didn't stop him.
Why you punish me?
Time has run out for the New Orleans Saints. For the second year in a row, they've stumbled to an 0-5 start. Now, this game began badly. Vinny Testaverde finding Derek Alexander matched up in one-on-one coverage. 64 yards later, and it was 7-0 Ravens. The Saints controlled the time of possession, holding the ball for 16 of the next 19 minutes. But all they had to show for it was a field goal and a 10-3 deficit.
You gotta want to win, baby. You gotta want to win.
Did we put enough points on the board to win? No, we didn't. And that leaves our defense out to hang. But we're just trying to do the things. We keep doing better. We keep doing things like that and build on it. Hopefully we can get that win soon.
It was still 10-3 at the end of the third quarter. But on the second play of the fourth quarter, Everett improvised. He found Michael Haynes for 33 yards and the score. And this game was tied at 10-all.
It was up for grabs, and went up and got it. There was a lot of pushing and shoving on the play.
Got a little arm in there, maybe?
Yeah, I think I did, but there was no call, and we needed to play, and I'm glad we got it.
With the game tied at 10-all, this game, and perhaps the season, would be decided on the next two series.
Let's smell blood right now!
Like they've done all season, though, the Saints defense failed to make a play when they needed one. Two long completions to wide-open receivers set up the Ravens. On 3rd and 6, Testaverde goes over Eric Allen to Michael Jackson. He scores, and it was 17-10 Ravens. Time was still on the Saints' side, though. The offense drove the ball 55 yards down to the Ravens' 31-yard line. 4th and 1, Jim Everett is stopped on the quarterback sneak. The Ravens get the ball back and eat up the final 6 minutes and 23 seconds of this game.
It was so loud, and granted, it was loud out there. I don't know if Andy heard the first HUD or whatever, but, he knew that linebacker was coming. He wanted to make his block, and we just didn't execute it the way that we should have.
At 0-5, the Saints have now equaled their worst start ever under Jim Mora. Time has already run out for this team.
When you're winning, you know it works, you have confidence, and when you're 0-4, it's on human nature to have that lack of confidence, you know, and be surprised on a play where if a guy fights for another 2 yards for the first down. It's like, you know, hey, I tried, but, you know, the guy just beat me to the punch, and that's why we're 0-5.
Why you punish me?
It was a rough one, no doubt about it. Ricky Jackson, has this team run out of time? Is there any chance that this team can rescue this season?
Not really. I mean, if they keep fighting and, you know, listen to Coach Moore, I think right now he's trying to get the guys fired up, get the guys on the right track. But, I mean, you got to go out and win ball games. And right now, you know, you're losing ball games. That's the only thing people remember, and that's the only thing count.
Yeah, stats do not matter anything, Lionel. The bottom line is you've got to get the W's.
That's right. You brought up Jim Moore, Ricky. Since the Pittsburgh Pirates season is over and Jim Leyland is now has resigned as manager, that leaves Jim Moore the longest tenured coach in all 4 pro leagues, the NFL, the major leagues, the NBA, and the NHL. But as I said last week, that'll be changing at the end of this season. Tom Benson has no choice but to either fire Mora or let him resign at the end of this season because the Saints have not been able to judge talent since Jim Finks died. Today's loss to the Ravens was just one more example that Jim Moore has lost control of this team and doesn't know how to get it back. And you can just see it. They don't know how to win. They don't know when to make plays. They don't know how to make plays, Joe.
And that's the bottom line. They don't know how to make plays. Again, the Saints have a chance to win, facing a team they should beat, but blow it. I've got to pin this one on the coaches and their lack of making adjustments at halftime. The Ravens were able to change things up and shut down the Saints' running attack, which, believe it or not, showed some signs of life in the first half. Meanwhile, the Saints' defense held the Ravens without a TD from midway through the first until the fourth quarter, but again, didn't have the answer for a couple of big passing plays that paved the way for the winning score. So it's 0-5, back to the drawing board. Can't get it done again.
Last game they won in September back in 1994. This team is not starting well in September, no doubt about it. Now, there is a lot more to come on All Saints. When we come back, Ricky Jackson will break it down every which way and give us the painful results. We'll be right back with a lot more of All Saints. Welcome back. And guys, it leads me to wonder how much this loss reflects on the coach's play call. Specifically, fourth quarter. Let's talk about this a little bit. Game is on the line. It's 4th down. Jim Everett gets the call for the first down. And Ricky, I'm going to start with you. Let's look over this play. It's a 4th-and-1 situation. Jim Everett gets the ball. Talk a little bit about that play.
Well, I mean, when things going bad, they go bad.
Right.
And that's what's happening to the Saints right now. I mean, the ball was supposed to be came on 1, seemed like, and the ball came on 2, and everything was just delayed. And I think the referee gave a bad spot, really. But, I mean, you know, judging by the referee, he didn't see the second effort because they let the guy spot the ball from the side. The side referee the one spot the ball. The guys in the middle never did spot the ball. So that's what happened to us on that play. If they let the guys in the middle spot the ball, would have got the first down. But they went by the side.
Well, now hindsight's 20/20. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But then the Ravens come back. They've got a 4th down situation. They go to their running back. Should the Saints, and I don't want you to put you on the spot, and maybe that's not fair, but is it the quarterback, or should you at that point go to the fullback or go to a running back and see if they can get the yard on 4th down?
Well, some quarterback run the quarterback sneak better than others, and some guys don't. Vinny Testaverde, one of the guys, he's not a great sneaker, but so they chose to use the short yardage back. So, but the Saints, I mean, they figured Jim Everett can get that,
and he did get it earlier in the game.
I think 9 out of 10 he would get it every trip. I mean, you know, everybody would expect for you to get an inch.
But then, Ricky, you see here they give it to Ernest Biner when the Ravens had a chance. He breaks a tackle, gets the first down. Why not try Lorenzo Neal? You can't stop him for 2 inches, can you?
Well, I mean, I would rather have the quarterback sneaking the ball on an inch for me. I mean, because that's a more safer play.
Yeah, and like I said before, they did get it earlier. All right, Saints defense, let's talk a little bit about that. More time on the playing field than any time in the last few years. Let 34, Biner. He is 34 years old, yet this guy was able to rush for 149 yards. It's his most all season, and it's hard to understand why this team still is having a hard time after 5 games, Ricky, stopping the run.
Well, right there, you're letting a lot of guys come up to Miller, and I think that's what's hurting us. You got to make these guys bounce a little bit. See, just like this play here, guy right up to Miller, If we can get the guys to bounce to the outside and use the speed of the linebackers, Fields and Tubbs, and them real fast guys, keep them going east and west instead of straight up the middle. I mean, a lot of times you can stop them a little better.
The one thing that jumped out at me is he was 4 or 5 yards out a lot of times before there's any contact.
Well, I mean, that's what's happening. I mean, getting through the defensive line, and if those guys control the line of scrimmage up front, the linebackers make the tackle. But right now, like I said, things just going bad, and you know what I mean, when they're going downhill, it's hard to stop it.
Do you think also that the Saints are susceptible to the cutback? They got so much speed with Fields and Tubbs at linebacker, but sometimes it seems as though they overrun the play. LaShawn Johnson made a nice cutback last week and went, and that's what Biner just did on that play.
Well, that's what happens when you got a lot of speed. I mean, those guys, I like Field more as a floor and runner and not a head-on guy, and that's what's happening. The guys getting out of their lane just a little bit, giving guys a chance to bust the seam on.
And even a guy like Biner at 34, he gets that seam. He's still got a little gas left in the tank, and he was able to make something happen.
Right.
All right, guys, we're going to take a lot more, though. We're going to take a break, but a lot more is coming up on All Saints. When we come back, Joe will go one-on-one with Saints head coach Jim Mora. He asks all the questions you want answered. We'll find out what he had to say after the game. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back on All Saints. Welcome back to the show. Now, earlier this week, Jim Everett, Wayne Martin, Eric Allen, and Jim Dombrowski all went in and talked to owner Tom Benson about the team's 0-4 record. And their basic message, Joe, was that Coach Mora is not to blame. You had a chance after the 0-5 start now to talk to him after the game today. Did he have any answers for you?
Well, that's kind of the problem. He hasn't had any different answers all along. Again, the head man was giving the company line, promising that the Saints would get better as soon as they start making some big plays.
Coach, the effort obviously there again, but again, you guys come up 7 points short.
Yeah, the effort's definitely there. It's been there for 5 games. These guys work hard and they play hard. We're just not making enough plays to win a ball game. And I can't fault the effort today. I can't fault the effort that this team puts forth. But you know, it comes down to a few plays, and we're not making enough of them. The other team's making them, and we're not. And we've got to find a way to get that done so we can get wins. And if this team keeps working hard, we'll get it done.
It was especially tough in the first half. The offense moved the ball well, but they were backed up in a couple of holes, and they only come away with 3 points after 2 long drives.
Yeah, really long drives. Really good. We moved the ball, we threw it well, we ran it well, but when we got down there inside, we got to find a way to make a play, you know, to get touchdowns instead of that field goal. And but the execution up to that point was very good. You know, if we could get, I think if we could get the ball, you know, turn the ball over, or get it some way down there, you know, give our offense a chance where they wouldn't have to drive 80 yards or 90 yards or whatever for points, and I think that would help. But we're just not turning the ball over. You know, we've taken it away twice in 5 games, and that isn't very good. And it's not like we're not trying, because we are trying, but it's just not happening.
The defense again had a chance, tied at 10 in the fourth quarter, to give the offense the ball back, and they couldn't get it done then either.
No, they went right down and scored on us, and they hit a couple pass plays on us that hurt. You know, you got to find a way to get it done. You know, on crunch time, you got to find a way to get it done. And again, it's not for lack of effort, believe me. But and it shouldn't be, and it won't be with this football team. We'll keep battling, I promise.
You say it's all about making plays, so that the effort's there. So the question that arises, is the talent there?
We've got enough talent to win football games. There's no question in my mind that this team has enough talent to win football games, and we're going to get it done.
Obviously, no one thought this team could start 0-5 again. What's your mindset now that you're here?
Well, hey, you accept what you got, you know, and you keep fighting. There's nothing else to do. I mean, you can't say, oh my God, we're 0-5. What do we do? I mean, you're 0-5, you know, and it's the New Orleans Saints football team. There's a lot of players in this team that weren't on the team last year, but hey, you fight hard, and it doesn't work out, and you keep fighting. That's all I know what to do. I mean, that's all I've ever done, is just to keep battling and working your tail off, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to get it turned around.
Next week, Jacksonville coming into the Dome. Again, got to get one.
Yeah, we just got to get one. You know, you can't look down the road and say, oh, we got to win 8, 9, 10, whatever. But you just got to win. It's like any approach that you take. You've just got to win the next week, and this team's got to get bounced back and get ready to play and beat Jacksonville.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Unfortunately, it's the same song we've been hearing for the past few years from Coach Mora, especially in September when wins are hard to come by. And as far as that song goes, I'm not sure how much longer owner Tom Benson will listen to that very sad, sad melody that's been going through our heads for the past few years now.
We shall see. The ultimate decision certainly rests with Saints owner Tom Benson. There was a lot more action from around the league today, especially in the rest of the West, where Lionel will give us a tour of who's hot and who's not, plus that big upset between the expansion team sophomores. Stick around. All Saints. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Who would have thunk it? The Carolina Panthers tied with San Francisco for the lead in the NFC West in just their second year of existence. It is true. Today, though, they took on their expansion rivals, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Cats were going at it. Lionel?
Well, Jim, it was a wild day in the NFC West, and it all started during the week when the Panthers, the Falcons, the 49ers, and the Rams all announced their starting quarterbacks would be out and the backups would be in. It made for an interesting Sunday in the NFC West. This week's theme in the NFC West was a change under center. 4 new quarterbacks in action in the West. In Atlanta, Jeff George was suspended after a confrontation with head coach June Jones last week. USA Today reported that George would be traded, quoting, "The rift between them is irreparable." Falcons coach June Jones said Tuesday he's decided to part with suspended quarterback Jeff George, and Bobby Hebert will be the starting quarterback the rest of the season. And in San Francisco, Steve Young was out with a groin pull, with Elvis Grbac getting the start. The San Francisco Examiner reported that Elvis won't be around next year. Quote, "Re-signing Elvis is highly unlikely," said team president Carmen Policy. "If he stayed here, even though he were to be the quarterback of the future, he would not be paid the kind of compensation he would be elsewhere." So today, the Falcons and 49ers went into battle with Elvis and Bobby, and it was not the Cajuns' day. This pass intercepted by Marquez Pope, and he went 55 yards for the score. Hebert was picked off 3 times on the day. For Elvis, things were much better. He was 22 of 35 for 222 yards, and this touchdown to Ted Popson. 49ers win it 39-17. This week in Carolina, it was announced Steve Beuerlein would once again start in place of the injured Kerry Collins. Beuerlein led the Panthers to an upset of the 49ers last week. The Charlotte Observer this week quoted Beuerlein. He said, "This is still Kerry Collins' team. There's no doubt it's his team. When he's ready to come back from his knee injury, I'll be glad to step aside and resume my role as a backup." And Carolina fans might welcome that. Beuerlein was battered and beaten today by the Jacksonville Jaguars. They sacked him 5 times, and he went out with a knee injury in the 4th quarter. Collins came in to replace him, but the Panthers lost for the first time. 24-14 was the final score. And in St. Louis, former Saints quarterback Steve Walsh was benched this week in favor of rookie Tony Banks. Coach Rich Brooks was quoted in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch saying, "I don't get the sense that Banks is going to be disturbed that much by all this falderall that goes around a rookie quarterback starting a game. He's a pretty confident guy and a pretty under-control type guy." Banks was in control today. He took the field against the Arizona Cardinals, and he threw 3 touchdown passes, one going to former LSU Tiger Eddie Kennison. But the Rams would not get the win. In overtime, the Cardinals kick a field goal to take it 31-28. So a check of the standings. On the top, we find the Carolina Panthers and 49ers tied at 3-1, with Carolina holding the edge by virtue of their head-to-head win over the Niners. Then it's the Rams at 1-3, the Falcons at 0-4, and the Saints at 0-5. Of the 5 teams in the West, 3 of them are very bad. 1 win between 3 teams, and it just goes to show you this was an opportunity the Saints had this year, I think, Ricky. Had they come out and had a good team, a good chance to compete for a division title.
Yeah, with the schedule we had, a lot of people looking for us to win a lot more ball games, but it hadn't happened. So now what you got to do is try to make it happen at the end.
Eric Allen was talking about this, Joe, earlier, and he said in the locker room, he said so many teams now, they're going to give you their best game because they look at the Saints and they feel like, hey, this is a W, this is a victory for you.
they're going to give it their best game, and I think that we're starting to see a lot of that, aren't we?
That's right. Well, people are going to come into now to the Saints house, and they're going to smell blood. This team is down. Everyone in the league knows it, and other teams are going to try and come in here and knock them out. And, hey, Jacksonville, they're not a great ball club, but they beat Carolina today. And the way the Saints have been playing, I don't know. I thought they were going to win the last 3 games, so I'm not even going to say anything about the Jacksonville game.
No, there's no way to tell. Now, Ricky, last year they came back and they won, you know, they finished up 7-9 after they won 5 starters. Do you see any way to turn this thing around with the way the team is right now?
Well, I think Coach Mara can do it. I mean, he's a great coach, but, you know, he got to get the players to get out there and play. I mean, regardless of what he do, the players got to get out there and do it.
Right. You can have all the schemes, you can have make all the calls, but if the players on Sunday go on, they don't block, they don't tackle, they drop in the ball, they don't make the plays, this team is not going to win. Guys, thank you very much. That's it for this week's edition of All Thanks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to, of course, thank my guys to my left, Ricky, Lionel, Joe, and all the rest of the Fox 8 sports team. These folks work behind the scenes, and they really help put this show together. This week, the Saints stay at home. They get ready for the Jaguars, who will roar into town on Sunday. We'll tell you all about that next Sunday night, 9:30, right here on Fox 8 on All Saints. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we'll see you next Sunday night on All Saints. Good night.
Tonight on All Saints, a night of firsts. The first win of the season for the Saints. The first time the offense came through with the big plays when it counted. The first time our Ricky Jackson can talk about what the Saints defense did to stop the other team. The first winning one-on-one interview with Saints coach Jim Mora. And of course our weekly update of the rest of the West, checking in on the 49ers, Falcons, Rams, and Panthers. All Saints is next.
Last time LSU, Tulane, and the Saints all won in the same weekend, October 2nd and 3rd, 1993. Almost 3 years to the day later, it happened again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of All Saints. I'm Jim Gallagher, and what a winning weekend it's been throughout the Crescent City. The gang is, of course, all here alongside me, former Saints All-Pro Ricky Jackson and my Fox 8 counterparts, Lionel Bienvenu and Joe Trahan. And coming up in this next hour, we'll recap the game with a little locker room enthusiasm. Ricky will break it down for us on what went right this time around. We'll dissect that final drive that pulled off this victory, and we'll maybe see a different side to Coach Moore that we haven't seen all season long. But we start with the game, and the Saints finally have a victory to celebrate. The difference today, the ball rolled their way. The stats are still not up to par, but the lucky break certainly played a big role. For many of these Saints, it was their first win ever in the black and gold.
Good to smile in front of all you guys because this was awesome today.
For the first time this year, the Saints outscored an opponent in the first quarter. For the first time this year, the Saints beat an opponent in the turnover game. And for the first time this year, the Saints came out with a win.
But last year we started off 4-5 and one game, sparked the team. Hope this one does the same.
Torrance Small got the offense going in the first quarter, setting up the Saints' first score with a 21-yard catch. 2 plays later, Mario Bates made it 7-0, Saints on top. First play next series, the Jaguars' James Stewart is stripped by Joe Johnson. Mark Fields returns it 20 yards to the 7-yard line.
I think, the big difference was the giveaway takeaway ratio. They had the ball on the goal line and got stopped. And that happens in football.
The ensuing field goal gave the Saints a 10-0 lead. And for the first time this year, the pressure was on an opponent.
Green Bay, for instance, leading the league in turnovers. It's because their offense puts so much pressure on the other team's offense. They have to try and make plays. Today, we're in a situation where they were trying to play catch-up.
Mark Brunell caught the Saints in an all-out blitz. James Stewart made him pay with a 21-yard touchdown in the second quarter. Trailing 10-7 to begin the third quarter, the Jaguars marched down the field, going 76 yards to the Saints' 5-yard line. But the Saints came up with the biggest defensive play of the game. Richard Harvey strips it away from Jimmy Smith, and Ronaldo Turnbull recovers.
That's why you play the game. That's why you play defense, is to make plays like that. So, it was very important.
As long as we keep playing aggressive and just attacking people and keep playing the way we're playing and don't worry about our offense and what they're doing, I think we'll be okay.
With the offense struggling, the defense came through again, holding the Jaguars to a pair of field goals. But still, the Saints trailed 13-10 with 5:15 left. And then came the drive. 3rd and 4. Everett finds Torrance Small for 23. Everett then tries to hit Haynes, but a pass interference call on Dave Thomas gave the Saints the ball at the 6-yard line. Next play, Everett finds Small in the back of the end zone, and the Saints led this game 17-13.
This game opened up a lot of doors for me. You know, I have the confidence now. I have the, you know, I visualize me making good plays, and I went out and I made them.
The Jags had 145 to work with, but they couldn't make it happen. On the final play, Brunell's pass is knocked down by Anthony Newman, and the Saints take it 17-13 for their first win of the year.
I just had to knock it down. I had to just rake it down to the ground and
dampen this win.
That's what we play for. You know, you play for victories and have it come close and come.
Oxygen. All year long, this team has watched these other guys make plays, come up with a keynote turnover, or make that game-winning catch. But today, the Saints did it, and the result was obvious. But let's also say it straight. The Saints, Ricky Jackson, are still a long way away from where they want to be.
I mean, anytime you get dig yourself a hole, you get 0-5, you're in the bottom. But right now, they're starting fresh. They're getting a chance to come back, and what they got to do now is take that victory there and learn from it and come out next week and make sure they don't make some of the mistakes they made this week and win another one.
Yeah, Lionel, the key word, I guess, 2 words, key plays.
I don't want to say I told you so, Jimmy, but I said that the Saints would break out and take this one today earlier. The Saints did not come out with the gold jerseys today, but they did have the LSU Tiger Band performing, which I think rubbed off a little, played a big part in today's win. Now, it's simple. Making big plays when it counts is a difference between winning and losing. 2 or 3 plays a game will do it. Today, for the first time, it was the Saints making the plays. 2 big fumble recoveries and a final drive that saw Jim Everett and Torrance Small step it up, and the Saints get that first win. Now, as Ricky said, the key is to step it up again next week and do more of the same against Chicago, Joe.
It certainly is. And, folks, welcome to the NFL. The Saints offense didn't play very well, but they come up with the big plays when it counts, and that's what you need to win. The Saints have not done that or had not done that for the first 5 weeks. They finally get it done offensively. The defense, again, they got gashed for some big runs, but we're probably not going to talk a whole lot about that because they made some big plays as well. That's the NFL. You make the big plays, you win. We've been saying it the whole time, and finally they get it done.
Right. Yeah, we can talk about it. They got to go out and do it. Now, there's a lot more coming up on All Saints. When we come back, Ricky Jackson will clue us in on what made the difference in this game. Don't go anywhere. All Saints will be right back. Welcome back. Today's game was definitely the most intense and emotional one of the year for the Saints. And Ricky, all year long, we've been saying that these Saints players need to step up, make some plays, and today that was really the key. They were able to do it, especially on the defensive end. Turnovers made a difference. Let's break one of these down for you. Let's start.
Well, you know, Coach Moore always stressed to the defense that turnovers, and he always have a ratio of how many games that the team win when we get more turnovers than the offense get. Right here, Harvey do make a great play. Ronaldo hustle downfield, get a chance to get the ball back for the team. And this is stuff that we haven't been doing. We haven't been hustling as much. And now Coach has been stressing that a whole lot because, I mean, he see where we needed that. And, you know, every time a turnover happens, it's better for the team. So he always stressed that if we get more turnovers than the other team, we usually win the ball game.
I said to open the story, was that the key defensive play in this game, do you think?
That was the key defensive play. I mean, anytime you get a turnover on the goal line like that on the 5-yard line, when the team got a chance to get 7 points, that was a big swing. I mean, it was at least 7 or 14-point swing. They could have got the 7 points, and we come back and stop them. So that was great for us.
And, of course, offensively, the biggest plays and something that the Saints have not been doing, getting those big plays down the stretch. And, of course, Torrance Small really was the man today, especially on that last drive.
Well, I mean, right here you see Jim hitting Terrence. He had a great day today. I mean, and that's what everybody around New Orleans been waiting on to see Terrence come alive because, you know, I mean, the Saints they choose to, keep turns last year, and a lot other teams wanted them, Seattle. So, this is what they've been waiting on turns to do, make big plays, and he's capable of making big plays. Now, maybe the day after this game, he'll step it up and go to having a lot of big games, be the turns that they've been looking for.
Now, we talked about that final drive. You saw Torrance Small make a play when it came to crunch time. The Saints finally found the answers on that final drive. The Jaguars kicked a field goal to take a 13-10 lead late in the fourth quarter. The game was in the hands of the Saints offense, and they responded in a big play way. The Saints had 5 minutes and 15 seconds from their own 19-yard line. Everett goes to Small for 9 yards. Later, to Haynes for 10 yards. And then right before the 2-minute warning, the big play of the day. On 3rd and 4, Everett goes to Small again, who makes a great catch for a 23-yard gain and a first down at the Jags 31.
We talked about that all week, that we needed some big plays, and today I came up and make it a big play. That's something I wanted for myself, to make a big play. I didn't want to just go out this game and just have a good game. I wanted to go out and make a big play the way I did, for the win. That's the type of play I needed.
Everett then came back and went to Hayward Jeffries for 8 yards to the Jacksonville 23, in position for the tying field goal, but the Saints were going for the win. And when Everett went for Haynes again, Dave Thomas was called for interference, and the Saints had it 1st and goal at the Jags 6. The next play, Everett found Small in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown with 1:45 left on the clock. The first time this season the Saints offense came up with a big play when they needed it.
Torrance Small coming in, I thought that was kind of, I'll single that out coming in, because he's had some balls that could have turned things a little bit different, and he's gone through some adversity. I think he's typical of what our team is. He comes back and catches the game winner. With a lot of confidence, he caught it, and it made things cool, and it was fun to be a part of.
The most important thing is your last drive, and we had a chance to win it with down by 3 points. And no matter what happened in the rest of the game, we had a chance to win it, and we took care of business and went down and won the game.
Coming up next, we go one-on-one with Saints head coach Jim Mora. But as we go to break, we'd like to congratulate 13-year-old Julie Lawford. She was this week's Hibernia Junior Captain of the Week, and she got the thrill of a lifetime. She got to go out with the Saints captains for the pregame coin toss. Stick around. All Saints will be right back. Welcome back to All Saints. 0-5 has caused a strain on everybody in the Saints organization, but no one more so than head coach Jim Mora. Lionel?
Jim, it was quite obvious the Saints head coach was relieved and relaxed after this win today. His team finally made the big plays after 5 games of coming up short. Afterwards, I went one-on-one with Jim Mora, who says he's still in the hole, but at least he's a step towards digging out. Jim, first of all, just talk about that first one in the win column, the first win of the season. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. I couldn't feel any better right now. The difference between, I don't know if people realize this, but for us in this business, the difference between winning and losing is like from the top to the bottom. When you lose, it's just the pits, and you're totally down, and when you win, you just feel so good, and that's the difference. I feel great today, and I'm going to go home tonight and have a much better Sunday evening than I've had in the last 5 weeks, and I'm going to enjoy going into work more tomorrow, and it's just going to be a whole different atmosphere.
2 things that jump out in this game, Jim. First of all, we'll talk about the offense. Struggled a little bit in the second half, but in the end, when you needed it, the big plays were made, the touchdown was scored. Talk about that last drive.
I thought it was a beautiful drive. Like you said, our offense, they had a really good drive early in the game to score that touchdown. They did struggle in the second half. We had some penalties that hurt us. In the first half, we had some penalties that hurt us too. But hey, when they had to do it, they did it, and that's that's something you really like to see. When the pressure's on, you got to get the job done. They got the job done. When some guys made some big plays.
And when you talk about defense, you look at it. The Jaguars got 382 net yards, but only 13 points, and the defense recovered 2 fumbles. It looked like they gave up some yardage, but when it counted, the defense also came through.
I thought that I believe that the second half, when they had really good field position through most of the second half, and had a couple pretty good drives against us and got down into good scoring position, and we held them to field goals down there. I thought those were really big plays.
Now, you also talked about in your press conference, Jim, you said, hey, we've got to keep this sense of urgency. We won one game, but we've got to also stress that during the week that we've got to win another one, win another one, win another one. This is just a start to something you hope continues?
You know, we had a great week of practice last week. In the last few weeks, I mean, we've had good weeks of practice through the season, and that's what has made the losing so frustrating. But the last 2 weeks, we have really worked extra hard. I've just noticed a little bit extra by the players, and because of that, just that sense of urgency, you know, to get one, and we can't back off of that one bit. You know, we've got to keep that sense of urgency going to win next week and see what happens the rest of the year. We've got to keep it.
It looked like guys were flying around, Jim, a lot of emotion on the field. Is that something that you guys stressed this week that was maybe different than past weeks?
Well, you know, we've always stressed it. You're talking about defensively, yes, primarily. We've always stressed it, but we felt like maybe the last week in particular, for some reason, we just weren't hustling and flying around like it's necessary to be a real good defensive football team. I know that Jim Haslett stressed this week. The defensive coaches stressed it. I mentioned it to him, and I think there's no question. I believe that we did it better.
And of course, looking ahead to next week, Chicago comes in here. In the NFL, I guess in any business, you're only as good as your last deal, as your last game. By Wednesday, I guess you got to forget about this one and start concentrating on the Bears.
Our guys will. You know, our guys know that we're still in a big hole at 1-5, and we can't start feeling too good of ourselves and slack off in any way. I mean, there's just no way when you're 1-5. I mean, every game is a critical game, and you've got to approach each week with that sense of urgency when you hit that practice field and meetings on Wednesday.
Last year's 0-5 team rebounded to go 7-9, and with such a weak schedule, the Saints could do it. The 2-4 Bears next week, the 0-5 Falcons down the road twice, the 1-4 Rams twice, the 0-5 Bucks, and the 2-3 Giants. The Saints did not look great today, but if they make the plays they made, they have a chance in a lot of these upcoming games.
But, Lionel, I think the most important point you got to remember is last year, remember, they beat the Dolphins just like this. They came through with a big victory, but then they went out and fell flat on their faces against Carolina. Ricky, this team has to avoid that. They've got to come out and play well again next week.
Well, it's a must. I mean, you can't, you know, have a letdown next week. And one guy I want to give a lot of credit to today was Carl Smith. I think Carl called a great game. We didn't get as many points as we should have got, but we came down to the end, and he called some great plays on that last drive.
All right, guys, we got more action coming around the rest of the league, especially in the NFC West. We'll talk all about that when we come back. And as we go to break, we want to catch up with the Coca-Cola Cash Catch winner. That's Andy LaCour of Slidell, Louisiana. Andy handled the 30, and he handled the 50, but he had a little trouble with the 70, and believe me, I know how tough that is. We'll all Saints will be right back. Welcome back. It's time now for our weekly look at the rest of the division. And the best thing we can say, Joe Trahan, the Saints are no longer at the bottom of the NFC West.
That's exactly right, Jim. The Atlanta Falcons are all alone at the bottom of the standings. Now, if you think the Saints had it bad with Ray Zellers and Darren Mickle being suspended, the Falcons' starting quarterback is serving out a team-imposed suspension that could become permanent.
We'll start the rest of the West with the worst in the West, the Atlanta Falcons. The 0-5 Birds continue to try and offload problem QB Jeff George. They'll have to do so before Tuesday's trading deadline. The Seahawks and Raiders have reportedly shown the most interest. Without George, the Falcons travel to the Lions' Den. Detroit with the trick play. They call the flea flicker. Scott Mitchell to Herman Moore. He fights in for the touchdown. The Lions led 28-zip, but ex-Saint Bobby Hebert leads a comeback. Down by 4 in the fourth quarter, Hebert for the end zone and the lead. No, it's picked off, and the Falcons lose it 28-24. In San Francisco, the Niners have replaced injured running back Derek LaVille with veteran Terry Kirby. It'll be his first start with the Niners. From the San Francisco Chronicle, quote, "This is Kirby's big chance. If he shows that quick step upfield and catches the ball as well as his reputation suggests, he could nail down the starting spot." Kirby and the Niners at the TWA Dome taking on the Rams. First quarter, it's Kirby through the air for a big gain. Then Kirby on the ground for the TD, and the Niners have no problems with the Rams, 28-11 that final. In Carolina, they'll be looking toward their defense to help them bounce back after their first loss last weekend. Linebacker Lamar Lathan has been one of the keys to the stifling Panther D. Charles Chandler of the Charlotte Observer writes, last year, Lathan was a broken player, physically and mentally. Now Lathan says it's more a matter of finally being healthy and of playing without emotional burdens that weighed him down last year. Lathan and company harassed Warren Moon and the Vikings all afternoon, but the Moon Man has the last laugh. Moon throws 2 TD passes to Chris Carter, and the Vikes held off a late Panther rally to win it 14-12.
And let's take a look now at the standings after Week 6. The Niners on top with just 1 loss and 4 wins. Meanwhile, the Panthers dropped their 2nd straight. The Rams and Saints both with just 1 victory, and the Falcons 0-5 tied with the Jets in the Peyton Manning sweepstakes. The Bucs in there as well with no wins yet. And Ricky, I want to ask you one thing about this ball club now that they've gotten off the schneid, they've gotten that first victory. Do you think they can, I guess, ease up a little bit and not worry about the 0-5 and maybe play up to their potential more now?
Well, I mean, right now they're in a great situation. I mean, they done dig themselves a hole. Now it's time to come out and show everybody to be the type of ball club that everybody expected you to be from the jump. And now they got a schedule that should be able to handle, take care of business, should be able to get back in this thing.
And if they're going to do that, though, 2 things they got to do. They got to start running the football, 36 yards today, 1.9 yard per carry average, and they got to stop the run on the other side. 141 yards for the Jaguars today, and they've got to get that turned around if they're going to win down the stretch.
But there is only one stat that really counts.
Right about that.
And that is the final scoreboard. That is it for this week's edition of All Saints. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Of course, I want to thank Ricky, Lionel, Joe, as well as everybody behind the scenes who works to make us look so good. Saints are home for another week as the Bears will claw their way into Crescent City next Sunday. They're coming off a big loss to the Packers. It should be an excellent ball game. The Bears, of course, lost. They are now 2-4 in the season, first time since 1983, and I'm sure they are looking to rock the dome. For Fox 8 Sports, we'll bring you that pregame coverage, the Saints experience, and then we'll be here Sunday night for All Saints. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Tonight on All Saints, a train named Ray rolls into town, leaving Bears lying in its wake. A coach named Mora wears his emotions on his sleeve, chasing down the train and burying past problems. A man named Doug kicks the football a long way, causing Saints fans to dance in the dome. And a big play defense comes up with one in the final minutes, picking up the Saints' 2nd win in a row and running with it. From 0-5 to 2-5, at least for now, the Saints train is back on track. All that next on All Saints.
2 straight. It is officially a winning streak. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Gallagher. Welcome to another edition of All Saints, our 2nd straight post-game winning wrap-up. And joining me, as always, is 6-time Saints Pro Bowler Ricky Jackson, and, of course, the rest of the Fox 8 crew, Lionel Bienvenu and Joe Trahan. And coming up in the next half hour, we'll look back at the Saints' come-from-behind win over the Chicago Bears. Ricky will check out his keys to victory. Lionel will profile the man of the hour, Ray Zellers, and we'll go one-on-one with an emotional Jim Mora. Plus, Joe will wrap up the rest of the NFC West. That's all coming in a couple of minutes, but let's get started with the game. Last year, the Saints opened the season at 1-5. They then proceeded to go out and fall flat on their faces against Carolina. History did not repeat itself today. For the 2nd week in a row, the Saints came from behind, beating the Chicago Bears today 27-24, and finally bringing the Dome crowd to its feet. But they had to work for it. A pair of first-half turnovers gave the Bears 10 points into the 2nd quarter. The Saints came back. Jim Everett connecting with Lee Doremus, the young receiver's first NFL touchdown. With 2 minutes left to go in the half, Dave Craig marched the Bears back down the field, hitting Marcus Spears on the tackle eligible for the touchdown. And the Bears led this game 17-7. Jim Mora went in at the half and unloaded on his players. He challenged them, and they responded.
feeling bad because you lost doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You just have to go out there and fight. And he didn't use those words, but he got us fired up. We came out that second half with a purpose.
A lot of people say this and that, but I thought he did a great job going right to the meat, right to the point, calling us out and telling us to get our asses going.
The Saints got the offense going thanks to number 34, Ray Zellers. He pounded out 35 yards and set up Doug Bryan's first field goal of the game. Next drive, first play. Zellers makes the best run of the year for the Saints. 63 yards down the sideline.
He's just a monster. I mean, he just plays and plays and plays, and he's not going to stop until you stop him, until you put him on the ground.
He's been under some heat, a lot of adversity right now, and to come back and to perform like that, I can't give enough credit to Ray Zellers and the heart he has, and I think he showed the heart of a champion today.
Everett froze the defensive backs and hit a wide-open Michael Haynes to tie this game at 17-all. Dave Craig came back, though, finding a wide-open Curtis Conway for 53 yards. The Bears were back in front by 7 going into the fourth quarter. Zellers capped a 12-play drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. It tied the game at 24-all. Bears kicker Jeff Yeager missed a 32-yarder that would have given his team the lead. The Saints got the ball with 3 minutes and 52 seconds left. And for the second week in a row, this offense was able to march down and win the game. Doug Bryan capping it with a 54-yard game winner.
That gives you big confidence. I mean, you know, it's important for you to be able to move the ball when it counts. You know, we were down. We were down in the beginning of the game, and you know, we fought and we came back.
I mean, it's big because, you know, I had some bad breaks with the 49ers, and, you know, I had a lot of success coming through at the last minute at Cal in college, and, you know, it's just nice. I got a glimpse of it in the preseason, but, you know, that doesn't count. So
the Bears still had time to tie this, but Fred Stokes sacked Craig, forcing the fumble. Ernest Dixon recovered for the win.
That's kind of a typical situation where a minute error can cost you the game, cost you a big play, and in that situation, they got him out of there.
The Saints made it happen, winning their second straight game, 27-24, the final.
We have to keep this road going because we're still down. We're not out of the hole yet.
Still 2-5 on the year and a long way from being in playoff contention, but there were some positive signs. Ray Zellers finally showed some of that ability that made him a second-round pick, and I saw emotion from head coach Jim Mora and these players that I haven't seen in well over a year. Let's get everybody else's opinion. Let's start with Ricky Jackson. And Ricky, there was some serious emotion on that sideline today.
Yeah, I mean, coach was fired up, and he know that we hadn't been playing the way we should be playing, and he stressed that very thoroughly and clearly, and he wanted some guys to get off their butt and play the way the Saints capable of playing, and guys responded well.
That halftime talk really seemed to fire those guys up.
I mean, it fired me up, you know. I mean, it was like, I wish I was out there where I could kick some of their butts. And, you know, I mean, coach is really, I mean, the thing that he did at the halftime showed everybody that he's still focused, he in it, and he want to win it, and he want to win the ball game, and that carried over to the team.
You think these players have been looking for something like that?
Well, I mean, it came at a good time. I mean, he picked the right spot, and guys was kind of letting down, and they was letting it slip away, and he, you know, kind of like grabbed them and showed them that we can do it, and, you know, just pay attention and do it.
Lionel?
All I can say is Jim Mora may want to keep Ray Zellers on suspension for the rest of the season, except on Sundays, of course. Mora questioned Zellers' toughness last week in the much-publicized suspension incident, but Zellers played today like he had a chip on his shoulder, and the Bears were not going to knock it off. His 174 yards and a bent but not broken defense in the second half, and some more of those big plays we always talk about combined for the Saints' second win of the season.
Yeah, and it was good to see, Lionel. I think the key to this win may have been not only the talk in the halftime, at halftime, but also the way that Coach Mora responded after Zellers ripped off that big run. When was the last time you saw Coach Mora run out onto the field and congratulate one of his players? You know, everyone on that sideline took notice. It got him going, and the ball rolled from there. Like we always say, when you run the ball in the NFL, it makes football a whole lot easier.
All right, guys, we've talked a lot about one guy, but we still haven't heard from the man of the hour. Up next, we'll profile Ray Zellers, and Ricky will give us his keys to victory. Stick around. We're just getting started here on All Saints. Welcome back to All Saints. Time now for our expert Ricky Jackson to break this game down. And Ricky, let's start with Ray Zellers. He was a monster today. And let's talk about that big run first of all. What was the key for Ray Zellers today?
I mean, the key was for Coach Maurer to call him out. You know, I mean, anytime a guy get called out, I think he want to respond and show the coach that, you know, I'm better than what you think I am. So I think he was focused that, you know, like this run here, he was determined. I mean, he fought. He scratched his claw. He tried to get everything he could get. I was praying for him, hoping for him to get in the end zone because he's been going through a tough time, but he got a big heart, and this guy, he really want to run the football. And that's his main focus, running the football.
And it seemed like the blockers really picked up their pace, too. You got a guy that's making yards, and all of a sudden the holes open up a little bit more, too.
Well, anytime a guy hitting the hole, I think the guys like Willie and Jim, they want to open those holes up for guys because they know that he's going to get the extra yards. You know, even though a guy might hit him, he's going to get some more yards after that.
All right, let's talk defense. Defense also did a great